Hello and welcome to another episode of the Course Creators Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Cordiner. Now today, we're going to get a bit zen. Yes, we are, my friends. I have my incredible friend with me today, Moritz Ulrich. Now, Moritz is the founder of Yoga Online School. And he is also the founder and owner of Peace Yoga Berlin. Now, Moritz and I first actually started working together probably about 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And at that time, Moritz came to me and said, look, Sarah, we've got these very successful yoga studios. We've got these very successful yoga schools and workshops that we're running. They're always fully booked out. Things are going great, but we want to go online. Now, one thing that Moritz knew was that moving from face-to-face to online required a whole new business strategy. And a lot of people who create online courses sometimes forget this. They sometimes think, well, I'm just going to create an online course. I'm going to just create some videos and chuck it out there. And they don't put this planning and structure and strategy behind it. And sometimes those businesses then fail to reach the potential that they could reach because there is a strategy to adding an online element and digital products to your business. Now, Moritz knew this. So he got in touch with me about 4 or 5 years ago and said, right, it's time to go online. How do we, create this community, this online community with our lead generation courses? How do we then build up a whole variety of programs? How do we create smaller programs and connect them to bigger programs? And how do we make sure that that complements rather than cannibalizes the existing face-to-face programs and systems that we have? So Moritz and I put our heads together. And he said, right, I'm going to go off and create my online course. And off he went. Today, 4 or 5 years later, Moritz now has an incredibly successful international online academy. He is teaching people all around the world, all the time, how to do his particular techniques in yoga and other stuff. He's going to tell us more about. It's not just yoga. He's managed to build out this entire system of his area of expertise. He's going to give us some tips and tricks about what he did to turn what's very practical type training and very in-person training into successful online learning. And with COVID having just happened to us too, I know that Moritz has now been delivering his programs up to 3-4 times a day via online delivery. Now, prior to having gone online in the first place, it's going to be people like yoga studios and lots of similar types of businesses who would have been really, really hit bad, who would have been in a position of recession. Using online courses, delivering online and mastering, and I use the word mastering very, very strongly with Moritz, the process of connecting with his audience online to share his expertise has transformed his business. Moritz, it's absolutely amazing to have you on the show with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Sarah, for having me. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And I hope I can inspire some of you out there to get online, get your online courses ready, and no longer hold back.
Oh, so I'm already excited. Now, Moritz, I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago that we first connected. Did I get that right?
Yes, it should be. I don't really remember. I'm really bad with times, to be honest, especially when it's in the past. But that should be about right. We opened our school in Berlin about 7 years ago, and then 1-2 years into the local business, which worked really, really well, I decided I want to go online. I didn't really decide it. I think it was the outside peer pressure a little bit to go online. And then, I did it.
So look, this is one of the things I really, really love about finding out why people chose to go online, because for all of us, there's different reasons. For some people, it's money. For some people, it's something else. And none of the reasons are wrong. There's so many reasons to do it. So I'm intrigued that you had this super successful, and still do have a super successful physical studio. Your classes are fully booked out. You've got people banging your door down for more and more and more and more and more and more and more classes with you. What was it for you that made you decide, right, we're going to go online?
Mm-hmm. So I think 2 reasons. One, I was just starting to get into the online scene. I created my first Instagram account. I was pretty late to all of this. And then, I saw other people doing online courses and creating online classes. And I was like, oh, why don't I have one of these online courses ready? And then I stumbled upon your amazing course, How to Create Online Courses. I signed up. And then at the same time, people were asking me the same question about a topic that I didn't really want to deliver, to be honest. I liked it doing it on my own. It was playing a specific instrument and singing along with it, like mantra for those of you who are yoga practitioners. And I was like, oh my God, that's so easy. Like, why don't they just get the instrument and they can learn it on their own? But they kept asking. And I really didn't want to do it in person, to be honest. I had no interest in it. But because they kept asking and because I saw online courses are an option, I decided that that should definitely be my first online course because it's delivering to the need of the people. And I also think that online courses are very good for certain topics, or even better for certain topics than maybe for others. And this was definitely the case with this one.
Amazing. So yeah, it's really for you being about less repetition, not having to repeat yourself over and over again, and being able to
Yes.
free your time, yet still help more people by literally digitizing that knowledge and putting into a course the answers to those questions that you're constantly being asked.
Yes,
Amazing. So
absolutely. And then looking back also, it was really for us more about reaching out to more people, not specifically to earn a lot more money because our business went well. I mean, obviously we're striving to make money with the online courses as well, but that for us at least was not the first reason why we started.
yeah, incredible. And so, you had you knew what you were going to teach because your clients were asking for the content. So for you, the idea was there. You've been doing it for years and years and years. You're already experts in your field of expertise. But going online was new to you, right? So you're only just setting up this whole online ecosystem. You're just getting the social media channels up and running. We had our chat about the business model. You took the How to Create Courses course and off you went. So you created this first course. Now that first time we do anything for the first time is always a challenge, obviously. I'd love to know what was that process like for you? You've been doing what you do for years, but now you have to do it in this brand new, completely alien way. I mean, what were some of the things going through your head when you were just looking at this for the first time?
Right. I think I was overwhelmed by the amount of structure that was needed and the amount of planning too. Because when we had our chat and we had our one-on-one coachings, I mean, you gave me so much information on what, would be good to be done and what I should do and how should I do it and in which order. And I love planning, but once I do the plans, I usually don't stick to them. And I think for this particular thing as creating an online course, it is rather good to then stick to the plan, especially with a course like I did. My first course I think has about 100 videos or more, so it was a massive amount of
Wow.
videos. So it needed to be structured, otherwise it would have been a complete mess at the end of recording it.
Amazing. And so you got your structure together. So that's a really key point, is just how critical that bit is. So many people are so excited about the content. We know our stuff. We don't just want to jump straight into teaching, but yeah, that is that whole planning phase that goes in beforehand. So, you were very, very disciplined. You got that bit done. Um, what did you find the hardest about transitioning from face to face to online for you?
Really being in front of the camera. So
Yeah.
although when I teach in person, I'm all free, I'm outgoing, I'm expressive, but as soon as the camera was switched on, I kind of went into a news speaker face and voice, and it was all robotic and mechanic, and yeah, I really didn't like it. I mean, I like to be there, but I could not recall my natural way of teaching as soon as I was in front of the camera. And it took me some time and practice to get over this and really be as I would be in front of 10, 20, 100, 200 people in front of the camera.
Why do you think that is? Because this happens to all of us, Moritz, doesn't it? Like every single. I remember when I first went on camera too. Like, I'd been presenting and teaching for years, and I was the same. The second I had a lens looking at me, I couldn't even form a sentence articulately. Like I just couldn't. I don't even know my own name. Like, why do you think? Why do you think that happens to us?
I think it is because the human interaction is definitely missing. I mean, there are people around you maybe recording, but for me, that was more distracting. I think in the beginning, I sent everyone out. I mean, everyone, there were not like 100 people, but maybe there were like one, two, three people helping. And I couldn't, like, whatever they were doing, I was totally distracted because I wanted to concentrate so much. And I think that's the major problem, that all of a sudden we start concentrating and thinking about the things too much that we're just very good at already and that we're naturally good at. But once the camera is there, we have no feedback, we just have the lens, and we overthink it, and then our mind just tilts in a way. That's how I felt. And as you said, I forgot what to say. The easiest things. And I think also because it's a new situation that we have to trust what we're saying. Because when we have human interaction, you can see in their faces at least, or how they're reacting, that what you're doing is of interest, or that it's good, or that it makes them laugh, or whatever it might be. But when the lens is there, the lens does not give you any feedback. So to learn to trust what you're doing, I think, is the crucial step to take.
Mm. And I mean, you are the Zen master. I mean, guys, if you need to learn how to quiet your crazy monkey mind and learn how to control your what's going on up here, the internal chatter. I mean, go and check Moritz out. Can you give us some tips here, Moritz? If we're in this situation where we want to do some videos, we want to go online, we want to help and inspire people, but we hit that lens and we freeze and we go into fear, or our mind starts running away with us. I mean, can you give us just some tips that you might use maybe for mindfulness or like calming ourselves? What can we do in that moment? Because you obviously worked your way through this somehow.
Mhm.
You were there, you know how this feels. I mean, you now turn on the camera and you can speak eloquently for ages and absolutely capture and inspire people for, a couple of hours of sessions without making a single mistake. What can we do to get our minds into that place of calm? Have you got anything for us there?
hmm So what I would do is definitely talk through the stuff before, not in front of the camera, but maybe when you're on your bike or in the car or walking around, some where you do something that feels good to you, and then just talk it out loudly and see how that feels, so you can, I think, remember that idea once you're in front of the lens. Because what I see in a lot of people doing online courses too, they write everything down or they have their keynotes, but they never talk it out. They never say it out loud ever before. So then it's the first time that they're in front of the camera and they're trying to find the words. And then obviously that usually does not work very well. So talking it out loud, I think, is good while moving around. I wouldn't sit even on a chair. I would probably walk around. That's something I did in school already, preparing for oral exams. I was walking and talking at the same time to prepare myself, because I think the walking gives a little bit of ease and movement into that, because we need the opposite of being stuck in that place and being stuck in the mind. So that's number one. And number two is, if you really feel it does not work, switch off the camera and just get up and leave the place for a minute or two. Maybe put on some music, dance, move around, and then you go back. Because what I felt, I was going down like a spiral, like with every other video that came, and I felt it just got worse. I felt I need to take a break rather sooner than later, instead of demotivating myself again and again and again and again. And I know it's not always easy, because maybe you have your recording day ready and you have a team recording you and the pressure is on. And so if you can't leave the stage, just sit quietly for a minute, close your eyes and try to breathe. I mean, these things sound easy, but if we can remember them at this time, they're really powerful, to just take 10 deep breaths in and out, and it can change everything.
Yeah, amazing. I really love that tip you get of physically standing up. I've got to a point
Yes.
now where I went to my local office shop actually, and I got this, it's called just a laptop riser. It's this
Hmm.
little, very cheap device that just goes up and down. And I stick my computer actually on top of it. So, yeah, if I'm a bit low in energy, if I feel like, I've had a late night with a baby, or maybe I had a glass of wine. Shh, I feel like you need to get the blood pumping. You got to come up and present. Maybe you're doing a presentation or a live call or something. I physically lift my desk up and I stand to present. That blood goes through your body. It fills your brain full of oxygen, and those neurons fire off much more easily. So I really love that tip, and I'm a massive one for that. And I love the whole saying it out loud while you're walking around thing. It's amazing when your brain has done something once. It connects those neurons, it connects pieces to pieces, and it's easier to retrieve that information the second time around. I really love it. There's such amazing tips. So you've created this first course, you've had all the same experiences that the rest of us do that first time around, and you've managed to fight through the dreaded camera lens. Now we're in a situation of pressing publish. I mean, for you, what, because everyone experiences that moment differently. Some people are like, yes, I'm so excited. Other people like will literally have everything ready and will never press publish because they're so terrified of going out to the world. What was your experience, and what is your advice around the whole going live bit?
Hmm. So I definitely consider myself to be a perfectionist. So it wasn't, I mean, the whole process wasn't easy, to be honest. Like every video, and because there were so many videos too, I wasn't satisfied with so many things. The sound, how I looked, the color of my shirt, like I just went on and on and on, and actually drove my partner crazy because he helped me with a lot of technical things. And so obviously he said it's fine, and then other people said it's fine, and then it even motivated me even more to say no, it's not fine because I just felt it can't be, it can't be good enough. So I went through this for, I don't know, probably weeks, up to the point where we had so many videos done. It was all in place, and luckily I have had an editor helping me with editing the videos, and then putting it all in. To be honest, when I pressed the publish button, it was not too hard. But I think because I worked through all this stuff already, so I can feel for everyone out there who is terrified to publish and who's terrified of even watching themselves on video or listening to their own voice, which I know it's a struggle for many people. So I can feel for you, and I know it's happening over and over again. And just get through it and get help. I think that's important. Like having worked with you definitely helped me because I know there is someone out there who did this 1,000 times, who helped other people millions of times, and it really supported me through the process. So don't just go back into your hole and shut everything down and delete all the videos. Try to get someone, and it doesn't have to be a professional coach. Maybe you can't afford it at this moment, but maybe it's just a friend, or maybe at least some other person who did something online and who can give you the feedback that you need to hear and the motivation that you need to hear in order to press that button.
Yeah, amazing. And that's the thing, is it sometimes, we can be perfectionist about ourselves, but sometimes it's more just getting the assurance that it process wise, you're doing the right thing. This is the process, follow the process is right, and obviously those other perfectionist things, we've all got to work through those. We all have different ways of looking at our work. But yeah, as well, I like that idea you're sharing of sharing the content. If you can't afford it, if you can't afford a coach or you can't afford professional feedback, guys, there are so many Facebook groups out there where you can upload your video and say, hey guys, I'd really love some feedback. You're going to have thousands of people potentially come back to you and give you their honest viewpoints. Certainly, you're all welcome to do that in my Facebook group. Come in over to Entrepreneur to Edupreneur Course Creators. Share your content, ask your peers for feedback. There are people in there who would be delighted to have a look and let you know what your landing page looks like, or what your video looks like, or whether your sound's a bit tinny. And you can get that perspective from lots of different people, not just your gran. So that's pretty cool. What, Moritz, what surprised you about the process? Was there anything there that was easier than expected, or wow, I didn't realize I could do that? Or, is there anything that you look back now and go, this was amazing. This was this part of the process was just, it blew my mind. It was incredible. I didn't realize it was this easy or whatever.
hmm So for me, it was really structuring the curriculum, and definitely with the help of your course, knowing that there should be different forms of lessons, like an activity lesson or a theory lesson or an introductory lesson, and to look at how should people feel, what should they know after the course, what should they be able to do. So I really enjoyed that process of the essential curriculum design. It came really easily for me, and up to that day, that's something I really, really enjoy, and that I just also seem to have a natural inclination towards, that things kind of work out how I structure them once I got the foundations done and ready, so knowing what types of lessons are out there. But now I know how to put them together, and also back then it seemed to work pretty well.
Amazing. And so, having gone through this process now, you've now gone on and duplicated it, which is one of the most awesome things about creating online courses is you learn the process once and then it's copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. So the rest of time, you've gone on and done that very, very passionately and very, very well. You tell us what you got now. What is in your course ecosystem?
hmm So to be honest, after the first course, it took me a couple of years to do a second one, because maybe that's the perfectionist in me again. I just felt I wasn't ready for some unknown reason. I don't know. But up to COVID, really, where that pushed me so much. Obviously, we all had to find other ways, as income streams or just to reach people. Um, and I felt also that the first course was missing something that I really enjoy, which is the in-person teaching. So I wanted to deliver something where there is pre-recorded videos, but there's also some live element in it. So that's why the last courses I've done, they're starting at a certain date with a group of people, and they can choose to only have the pre-recorded videos, but they can also have group coaching calls. One is once a day, it's a 10-day intensive, or maybe once a week for a beginner's online course. And I really, really enjoy that, and I feel, for me at least, that is the perfect way of delivering online courses for myself personally, to have the pre-recorded option and the live parts as well. So I designed a course which I hope becomes kind of my signature course. It's called Full of Trust. And it's about how to use yogic tools to gain trust, again, essential trust in yourself and basic trust in yourself and in others, which obviously in these times is maybe more important than ever. But it's a topic that is really dear to me, and something that I would love others to feel and experience as well.
That's wonderful. And yeah, this is another thing I really want to share, is that there are so many different types of courses you can create. I've mentioned the lead magnet course. Everyone should have a lead magnet course. If you don't have something to give away for free, how are you going to attract people into that community? Then you might be someone who prefers to be quite hands off. There's nothing wrong with that. You might prefer to simply create self-study online courses where you create the content. It's all pre-recorded, all the instructions, guidelines, everything is in there. And you're completely and utterly hands off. Your students go through it on their own, they complete on their own, they get the results on their own. Then there's the other type of courses, which Moritz is talking about, which is what I call the coach-led program. And that is where, you personally are involved. You're coming in daily. Maybe you're live streaming in a Facebook group. Maybe you're doing live Q&A calls via Zoom. There's a bunch of different ways that you can add yourself in to create that human connection in the same way that you would if you were face-to-face. And then there's your immersion programs. When we're all out of lockdown, you're going to go back to seeing more retreats taking place where we travel around the world and we go and sit with our expert, with our coach, and we work through something together. If you want to know what the right type of course is for you, you can take my free quiz. I have a free "What type of course should you create" quiz, and that is at sarahcordiner.com/quiz, and that will tell you which one's going to best suit your particular business model. And of course, you can have all of them. You can tie them all together, just like Moritz has done, just like I do. is have your lead magnets, have your cheaper self-study versions, have your signature program, which might have elements of you in there, have your coach-led program, which is more expensive again, and then feed people up into your retreats and your immersion programs, and your academy too, because once you have more than one course, you have that academy going on. Moritz, I'd love to know, now that you've got online courses as part of your business model, how has it changed your business so far? And how is it going to change your business going forward? I mean, what plans and stuff do you have? I'd love to just hear kind of what this journey's been like for you over that past 4 or 5 years, and where you see it going into the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. So definitely I want to start with an advice for everyone who has a local business that is running maybe for years and that is successful, is to first of all use the customers that are already there and that want you to teach them or to do a service for them or whatever it might be, to use them as your main audience first. There's no need when you have an audience, to reach out to new people. So start with the people that are there, because I did that mistake in the beginning. I thought I need to pull in new people that don't even know me yet, instead of using this massive amount of people. If you have them, then you're lucky enough to use them as your audience for the online courses. And also asking them what they want and what they need, I think is a very, very important thing and step, which is obviously easier when you have a local business, because you usually see them and you can just talk to them way more easily than online. So what has changed for me, I felt that it's really nurturing the local business too. Like the more online presence I have, people definitely see me more as an expert in that field. So as you said, all my in-person trainings or workshops or higher price and yoga teacher trainings are filled more easily because of the online presence, and also vice versa. So because of the other in-person trainings, people are going to ask for more. Okay, they see me in a workshop outside of Berlin and they want to keep in touch with me, and then I can just give them, I don't know, let's say a 50% discount on a course, and I'm teaching on a yoga conference where there are 200-300 people. So I, again, not only sell the course, but also keep them in the loop and keep them connected with our school online and offline. So going forward, and that's something that really came out of COVID, because as you mentioned, we needed to live stream our classes because we're not allowed to open the school. So we live streamed the yoga classes we have, and that worked amazingly well. Obviously we can reach more people that are outside Berlin and that are now so happy to take classes with myself and with all of our great teachers here in Berlin, that they're asking already to please keep doing that, and we want you to continue that even if you can open up again. Wow. So we're definitely thinking about doing that and finding a way, because now the yoga room is turned into a recording studio. So at one point, obviously, we need to rearrange that, but there will be ways that we can do that. And another great project, and I'm just going to say it out loud, I'm still not sure if I want to, I want to do it, but I'm not sure if I will do it, is to really kind of create a Netflix kind of, video library of myself. And I looked into platforms and I reached out to my audience, and they really want it. I just feel I need a little tiny push to do it, to be ready to deliver videos every month and keep going and create that subscription model for them. So this is definitely on my list, and that should be my next big project.
Amazing. I'm just so excited because you've built this audience now over so many years, and it's going to be a great success. And I always say to people, don't underestimate the power and the volume of income and impact you can make with a simple subscription model. If, I don't know how much you intend to charge for your programs or for your own subscriptions for yourself, Moritz, or anyone listening, but I always say to people, you've got more than 100 friends on your email list or on your Facebook page or on your social media following. Imagine if 100 people were paying you $47 a month. I mean, that's $4,700 a month passive income right there for what's probably an hour or two of filming a month, if that, turning up and doing a live call 1 hour a month. If you had 200 people, it's nearly 10 grand a month. 500 people, it's $23,400 a month coming in. It really accumulates. And I think if people are willing to give an hour or two a month, I mean, you spend more than that a day on Facebook, most of us do. And imagine if you were creating content in that time and creating an academy. It's just mind blowing. So it really excites me, Moritz, when I see people like you who, you learn, you implement, you listen, and then you follow up and you iterate and you put more in. So look, hats off to you because you've done the work. What I will say to you is progress over perfection. And one of the things I love, I've had a couple of chats on some of my other episodes the last couple of days, is one of the beautiful things I think for perfectionists has been COVID, in that we have had to see a lot more reality. We've had to make do in so many ways. We've all had to do coaching calls and consults with the cat's butt in the screen and with the kids running in and the mailman knocking on the door and so on. So we've all had to kind of get a bit more accepting and a bit more relaxed about this whole perfect presentation thing that, granted 5-6 years ago was actually pretty important. If you didn't have everything looking perfect back then, there was an assumption you had to be, and therefore you may have been looked upon in a different way. Today's world is very much about authenticity. It's very much about no filters, #no filters. It's very much about, I want to see real, I want to see uncut, unedited, unfiltered. And that is what is selling more today. Live streams get watched on people's rubbish mobile phones moving around the house, get watched more than professionally produced videos. It's a fact, that's pure facts. And I think this is a big sign for us that we all just need to get a little bit more comfortable just being us, so everyone listening, slap the perfectionist aside a little bit, because progression is better than perfection. And our audience are coming to us for what we know. They're coming to us to learn whatever it is that we have to teach, not to judge the color of our shirt or how many pixels is in our retina when we're looking through the camera. So it's really important stuff to remember. Right, you've gone through the process. You're doing really, really well. There are a lot of people listening, Moritz, who are still in that place of thinking about it. They are probably completely overwhelmed. There is so much to learn. There's tech, there's these curriculum words, there's years worth of expertise in their heads. And the thought of the entire process just makes them want to go and hide in the fridge. What advice would you give? Can you give us tips? Can you give advice for anyone who's sat there right now just going, I really want to do this, but I can't?
Yeah, so I think to start with, as you said, going live, like if you have an Instagram account or Facebook, just go live on your own Facebook page or personal page or whatever it might be. Just start the camera and switch the camera on, because I think that is usually the biggest fear for people that I've seen also with our teachers at school, to be in front of the camera and do what they love. And if you do that, or maybe send little video messages to your friends, at least on WhatsApp or wherever. So you start being on camera and talking into the screen, and that you can see that you can do it. And with the tech, I agree, I'm not a very tech savvy person. And I'm rather the person who thinks, okay, I need to spend thousands of dollars until it's good. So maybe find some really, everyone has a friend who is tech savvy. I'm pretty sure there is someone who knows something. And I literally only used my phone for all of my courses, for all the professional live streams that we do at the school every single day. It is just the smartphone. And that's it. And people love it. And people love the courses. People love the quality. And yes, I would invest into a good microphone. I think if I would invest something, then it's the microphone, because sound, I think, is crucial to be delivered in a nice quality. And again, and I'm just going to say it again, get some support, some outside support from other people. And you need to talk to another person. And as you said, Sarah, there are so many Facebook groups out there, yours included. Find a friend in there, or just say to your own Facebook audience, do you want me to do an online course? And if there are 20 people saying yes, then you can use that pressure positively, to use that energy of the pressure and turn it into the creation of your program, which I think it's the best and nicest pressure that you can have is from your own fans and friends.
Such a nice way of doing it. Yeah, it really is. I love the whole just going live thing that you say. I remember when I first started, I was had to practice. I used to sellotape my mobile phone to a tree in the park across the road from me. And I just made this deal that I would just go and talk at it for an hour a week. I watched myself back obsessively and I looked, how was I speaking? What's my tone of voice like? Do I have any annoying filler words? How do I come across? Am I being quite flat? When we're worrying about what we're saying, how we're looking, we forget about our energy, and we do have to be a little bit larger than life on camera. And those skills only come by doing it. And I certainly found that for me. I found that I only got better when I did it, watched it back, and went, okay. My husband always says to me, "Are you watching videos of yourself again?" Yes, so we're always learning, we're always getting better. So look, Moritz, thank you for the tips. Now, for everyone listening, down in the show notes below, there is a link, and there is a link there to Moritz's school. Please go and check it out, because when you see the type of content that Moritz has put together on a phone, you will be quite blown away. And I think you'll be amazingly surprised at how much can be done with very, very simple equipment and simple passion for your topic. So Moritz's school is linked below. Do go and have a look. There will also be Moritz's social media links, so you can go and follow him, go and connect with him, go and learn about his topic, because there is so much he teaches, which is just fascinating. Moritz, any final words or final tips or anything you would love to give the listeners today?
Just do it. Just do it. I mean, do it now. Don't wait another day. When COVID started, I lined out 3 curriculums in like 20 minutes because I knew we needed to do something as the school was shut down. So it is possible, and it is possible for you out there that you are an expert in your field and you have the knowledge. You don't even have to worry about the expertise. Just go online, sign up for any online course creation program or platform where you can put your videos on, make it easy for you. Don't try to maybe build your own website. You can maybe do that later. But there's so many wonderful things out there that make it so easy for you to just upload the videos and write it down or say it to a friend. I think that's very good. Talk about it to a friend or in a podcast or wherever you have the chance, and get it out there. And once it's out, it's really kind of out in the universe, and it will manifest. And you're just the only one who can hold it back, or hopefully not.
Incredible. Look, this is coming from someone who has been there and done it and is now reaping the rewards, as well as all of the thousands of people that are following him too. Moritz, it's been amazing having you today. Now, if you guys are thinking about creating your own online course, come and join me on the Concept to Course program. It's a 30-day course creation group coaching program where I will personally hold your hand for 30 days with a small group of others, and I'll help you come up with your business model, come up with your course outline, create your online school, film your course content. You do it all yourself remotely, and publish and launch your online course all inside 30 days with me right there holding your hand. Moritz, thank you so much for being with us today, and congratulations on your success with your online academy too.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for having me, and I wish you all the best. And please, guys, if you listen to that, sign up to Sarah's program. It is really, really, really good. It will push your boundaries, I'm sure, but it should be pushing your boundaries so you get live and online.
Thank you very much for listening. Do go on over to sarahcordiner.com/do-it so that you can get your course created ASAP. Otherwise, thank you for listening. Please press share. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye for now.